Okay, so today I'm going to be looking back at a couple of videos. Well, today I'm going to be looking back at a video that I did around this time last year, towards the end of August, to be exact, where I counted down the top 10 things that I love about Booktube. It's been a year, so time to check back in and see if my thoughts or feelings are the same. Now, I'm not going to promise that I still love everything I loved back then. Maybe I don't love these things anymore. Maybe they're no longer relevant. Maybe I don't see these things anymore. But it's just interesting to kind of do a check back in and see how things have changed over the course of the year. So let's jump right in and take a look, starting off with number 10. Booktube introduces you to a whole new world of books. Seriously, about 90% of the books that I have on these shelves beside or behind me come from recommendations from booktubers. These books that I'm proudly displaying, the Mistborn series 1, 2, and 3, in the US edition, by the way, are recommended by a booktuber. This book, Letters to the Lost, is recommended by a booktuber. This book, The Selection, is recommended by a booktuber. Seriously, yeah, Booktube opening you up to all these new different books, and yeah, that still remains the same to this very day. In my 2020 version, I spoke about the books that I have on me, and like 90% of them were because of Booktube recommendations. They still are. I think the only difference will probably be the Cosmere universe. I think the main books in the Cosmere universe were definitely Booktube recommended, don't get me wrong, but the novellas like Secret History or Emperor's Soul or Edge Dancer or even White Sands, these are ones that I kind of found on my own. But the majority of the books that I own or that I've read this year are still coming from recommendations from booktubers. So yeah, this definitely still holds up today. Coming in at number 9, the convenience of reviews. There is nothing, and I do mean nothing, like wanting to know what a book is going to be about and then having no way of really finding that out before you spend your hard-earned money or before you take your hard-earned time and use that to try and put it on hold at your local library. This is where Booktube comes in. On Booktube, booktubers review books all the time, and they're just a click away, and it's really awesome. Book reviews being convenient, yeah, definitely still holds up to this day. In fact, the majority of the books that I purchase based off of some sort of a review, whether it is a spoiler-free review that we get in a dedicated type of, we have a video that's just focusing on a review way, or whether I see it in a monthly wrap or a TBR and we get a spoiler-free kind of premise of the book. Definitely seeing something about the book that I might not have otherwise been aware of because I'm watching these videos on Booktube, they're definitely a convenience to help assist me as to whether or not I'm going to purchase a book. Coming in at number 8, honesty. Brutal honesty. What I love about the honesty of Booktube especially comes back to books that might be popular that a booktuber doesn't love, or they may even, let's use the H word, they may even hate. A lot of booktubers may really hate a book, but a certain booktuber may love that book, and they're not afraid to express their opinions. Yeah, definitely that still holds up to this day. I think I would have to go further than say love and say that I appreciate the honesty. I really do. There are a lot of books that end up becoming incredibly popular, they get overhyped, and there's just this bandwagon that everyone seems to get on because of how overhyped a book is, and so everyone has to read it because everyone else is, and I'm just not one of those people. So to that, I really appreciate that booktubers who are honest and who say, you know what, this is an overhyped book, but I wasn't a fan of it. Coming in at number 7, spoiler-free reviews. So, it is one part of the battle to locate a review of a book on Booktube that you're considering whether or not you are going to buy. Wow, I hope I've learned to become a lot more concise, because it actually took me going to the end of that video last year where I wrapped up all my 10 points in the space of a minute to work out the difference between point number 9 and point number 7. So, I'm just going to clarify that here. With point number 9, I was saying what I love is the convenience of a review. To be able to find it really easily just by going into Booktube and searching a review, it's there. My point with number 7 is to see spoiler-free reviews that are going to help you with purchasing a book. I've already touched upon this in my last one, so I don't need to do it again, but I just want to clarify what that was here. Oi goyam, let's hope the rest is easier than this. Coming in at number 6. Sweet unboxings. Now, for those of you who don't know what an unboxing is, basically it is moments where a booktuber is sent a whole bunch of books. And majority of the time, for what I'm referring to with this point that I'm making, I'm referring to booktubers who receive books from their subscribers. Booktube unboxings, those sweet moments. Okay, yes. Very, very interesting story. I remembered that this was one of my dot points. I am watching the video now for the first time in quite a while, but I remembered from now that a year ago I included this. And I was thinking, oh gosh, I can't really comment on this now because booktubers don't really do it anymore because of the pandemic. But one of my favorite booktubers, Daniel Green, just brought back his unboxing videos like a day ago from the time I'm recording this video. So he literally brought it back yesterday. And it made me so happy because Daniel's really funny with his unboxings. I wouldn't necessarily put him into the sweet unboxing category, but he does humorous unboxings that work really well. But yeah, a lot of booktubers haven't really been doing unboxings these days, which I think is completely understandable given the pandemic. Does it still hold up to this day that sweet unboxings are things that I love about Booktube? 100%. To see the look on a booktuber's face, especially when they've received all the letters from me about how this booktuber's really assisted their subscriber in one way or another and helped them to achieve whatever it is, starting their own channel, getting back into reading, getting their parents or their siblings back into reading, or whatever it is. It's just really, really, so touching. Coming in at number 5, bookshelf tours done well. Okay, so I need to define what I mean by done well, because to you guys, maybe it's a whole different story. There are some booktubers who will take a book off a shelf and take about 5 minutes to explain that book before putting it back, and then taking another book off the shelf and taking another 5 minutes to explain what that book is and putting it back on the shelf. This is not the type of bookshelf review that I love personally, because it takes too long to get through everything. Yeah, so I was waiting for this one to come back and kind of bite me on the you-know-what. With some of the comments that I received on this video ever since doing it last year, there were people talking to me about this specific point that I was making, which was doing a bookshelf tour video, the ones I love being the ones where you go boom, 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 one book after the other. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, 5 stars. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, 5 stars. Unbelievable by Sarah Shepard, 4 stars. Wicked by Sarah Shepard, 4 stars. Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson, 2 stars. In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, 2 stars. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, 3 stars. The Woman Outside My Door by Rachel Ryan, 5 stars. Those are the types of bookshelf tours that I do, and the reason why I do those bookshelf tours is because before I did my first bookshelf tour, the ones that I was mostly exposed to were those types of bookshelf tours. I have seen others since, and obviously had since prior to doing that last video because I was talking about it there, but I don't like them as much. So for me, the idea of having a bookshelf tour where I get to see the cover of every single book that you have, it feels like a fully extended tour where I get to see everything. I have the backstage pass to every single book that's on your shelf. Coming in at number 4 is how kind, welcoming, and inclusive everyone is, as well as the friendships that I have made with booktubers all around the world. The inclusivity and the friendships, yes. Look, not only do I still feel that that holds up to this day, but if anything, I feel like it holds up even more than it did last time. I have made a number of friends on Booktube, and it's just been an absolutely delightful journey getting to know each and every one of you that I've gotten to know through this channel or through your own channel or however it is. And those friendships are only continuing to grow now that I have a Discord server. So quick shout out, description, it's there, come join, where I get to talk to you guys on pretty much either a day-to-day basis or every second day we're talking about things, so that's great as well. But my point that I made then, and that still does hold up to this day, is whether they are a big booktuber, a small booktuber, or a medium booktuber, no one seems to be mean or rude or selfish or anything like that. Everyone's just really nice here on Booktube. In fact, I was talking to someone very recently, like couple of hours ago in fact, who doesn't really watch Booktube, but they watch a lot of the drama channels on YouTube, and I was saying, yeah, we don't really have a lot of drama on Booktube. Mostly everyone's just really nice to each other over here. We're a very nice, warm, accepting, beautiful community. Coming in at number 3 is TBR videos. You guys, almost nothing compares to the cherry on top of a beautifully delicious caramel sundae to me than a TBR video. Yes, this is my official campaign to bring TBR videos back, okay? Mine never went anywhere, so I always do TBRs every single month. For those of you who don't know, a TBR is when you're talking about what is to be read, and 9 times out of 10 with a booktuber, it'll be a TBR for the month. So right before the month begins or right after the month begins, a booktuber will put out a monthly TBR talking about all the books they hope to get to that month. I love TBRs. Now, I don't know if this is owing to the pandemic or if this is just owing to Booktube evolution, but yeah, since that time that I recorded that video, or maybe just a bit before, and even now to this day, monthly TBRs seem to be, you know, leaving us, which is really, really sad, and I really think that they should come back. I find them to be just a really beautiful way to connect with the booktubers that we love. We get to sit down with them and have them talk to us about what they're planning on reading that month, and maybe we'll get inspired and read a book with them. I just think that they're amazing. Coming in at number 2, we have the authenticity of most booktubers. There are booktubers who aren't that authentic, that will say, hi guys, today we're reviewing this book, and then they'll say, yes! Oh, one word can just stick with you for a year, and that is proof that it happens, because I still have nightmares about that word, yes! But it's true. I guess at that time, when I was recording my top 10 things that I like about Booktube or love about Booktube, I'd seen someone who had done that, and it just really annoyed me, because we don't need the bells and whistles. Look, quite frankly, I feel that Booktube is about talking about books, right? I feel that the books will sell themselves, and I feel that we don't need to go over the top. Now, in saying that, allow me to define what I mean. If you have genuine emotions that are attached to a book that you're talking about, whether it is happiness or sadness, anger or joy or confusion or whatever it is, and you are allowing those emotions to come out, that is fine. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is putting the bells and whistles, the artificial stuff that just makes a booktuber seem artificial. and not genuine when they're talking. And it just really gets to me. And I mean, if I was to do a monthly wrap where I would say, okay, and the next book that I read was Elantris. This is an adult fantasy book written by Brandon Sanderson, and I gave this book, yes, 5 stars. I mean, really? Really? I mean, unless you're watching me as a gag channel, like, seriously, what the heck? No. There are booktubers who do this really well, and quite frankly, back then, I was subscribing to a lot of booktubers. I am much more picky now with who I subscribe to, and my number one thing for whether I remain subscribed to you or not is how authentic are you? And if you're not authentic, or something we'll talk about in the next video, if you don't show gratitude or you show a lack of gratitude, that's another thing that will make me unsubscribe from you. But all the booktubers I'm subscribed to at the moment are very genuine. And coming in at number 1, the number 1 thing I love about Booktube is monthly wrap-ups. I think it is so amazing to watch any booktuber who has read any amount of books for that month, be it anywhere from 1 to 50. If there's a booktuber out there who's read 50 books in a month, bless them and well done. Anyway, sitting there and discussing what they've read, I just think it's really awesome. We have this implied rule that we don't give away spoilers, but some booktubers in a monthly wrap-up will give their star rating, the age rating, the genre of the book, and a premise about what the book was about, and then their thoughts on it. And I just think this is really awesome. This is a wonderful way to go shopping, really. Because, I mean, some people have their home shopping networks that they love. I have monthly... Yes, you did hear me correctly. Whether it is HSN, QVC, or something else in between, I don't need a home shopping network. You want to know why? I have monthly wrap-ups on Booktube. That is my home shopping network. I can click onto a monthly wrap at any time and have someone tell me in 2 minutes or less with anywhere from 1... to like, let's say 15 books about them in a really quick, efficient way. Here is this book. It is an adult contemporary. It's about this. I thought this about it. Next, here is this book. This age rating, this genre. Here's what it's about. Here's what I thought. Next, here is this book. It is wonderful. It is my home shopping network. It is me with a pen and paper going, okay, I like that one. I'm going to write that down. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's historical fiction. Cross it out. There are some historical fictions I like, but you get the point. Oh, this one. I don't like the cover of this one. It's a fantasy. It's a middle grade. Oh, it includes that trope. Yes. I mean, it is... I love monthly wraps. Being a booktuber myself, I'm on both sides of that proverbial fence in that I am a booktube creator as well as a booktube viewer. And with monthly wraps, I love both sides. I love watching them. I could literally, every time I watch Booktube, watch monthly wraps and nothing else. I won't because I like to have variety, but I could. If I was limited to just one type of Booktube video that I could ever watch anymore, I would want them to be monthly wraps. But I also love making them. They're a whole lot of fun talking about the books I've read that month. So absolutely, please bring back, I am campaigning, hashtag bring back the monthly wraps. Bring back Mr. Francy's home shopping network, okay? But that is where I am going to leave it. What are your thoughts? What are your favourite things about Booktube? Let me know in the comments section below. Maybe I can do an updated one of these at some point in the future where I do some updated things about what I love about Booktube. But in the meantime, letting you guys go, peace, blessings, and so much love. A very quick shout out to my Discord server. From Buddy Reads to advanced screenings and more in between. I have a Buddy Reads server over on Discord and I would love for you to come and join me. The link to that is in the description below. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday and I'll see you again soon. Mwah! Happy reading!